Hey, and welcome to show number 111 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. I'm hearing an echo probably coming from Christopher Gucci behind the glass. A little microphone issue
You
there.
didn't hear an echo the entire time. We were just talking. We did our
Ah,
test.
listen,
How is that me, bro?
listen.
Maybe.
This
Do you
is
still hear
Jim-
the echo?
You see what happens when you do the Jimmy Palumbo Show and you have a crack staff behind the glass known simply as Christopher Gucci. But let me tell you something. This is show number 111, bro. Coming into you live from downtown Mawa. Chris Gucci coming from downtown. Where's that town again?
Matawan?
Matawan, New Jersey. I was just testing you, bro. And also coming to you live from the Shitty Kitchen Studios here at Shea from the Omni in Atlanta. There, I just got my greatest hits album all in right there. Show number 111. Christopher, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I look a little pasty in this lighting, but it's better than the dark, grim lighting we used last week in here.
All right. I thought you were like,
I feel like I'm melting.
Well, listen, either way,
Bram Stoker. This episode is brought to you by Bram Stoker.
Dark Shadows. There's a reference no one gets unless you're over 55. Listen, this is show number 111. And of course, what we do? I take my stack of baseball cards and I pick a guy right at the top. And this guy, you're not going to know this guy. But it's unique to me because I thought he was much better than he was. My cousin John, if he's listening, is like, yeah, me too. I got a 1980 card. It is Larry Gura, known really pretty much as a Royals. Now, you got to remember, the Yankees played the Kansas City Royals in the playoffs, 76, 77, and 78. Arguably the best 3-year span for two teams playing each other 3 years in a row in the history of the sport. They were all close. Royals could have easily won all 3 series. Yankees somehow won and went on to glory in 77 and 78. But this guy, Larry Gura, now, he pitched from 1970 to 1985. Did not know he pitched that long. He pitched for the Cubs, Yankees, Kansas City, and again, back with the Cubs. He only won 126 games, which isn't too bad, but he was 126 and 97 with an ERA of 3.76. He started 261 games, which means he's big time there. He was with the Yankees first a little bit before my time. I was only 9. He was 5-1 with an ERA of 2.4, and then in 75 he was only 7-8 with an ERA of 3.51. And this is where I kind of learned a lot of different things. He got traded to Kansas City for Fran Healy, who became a broadcaster with the Yankees. And Fran Healy's famous for being very close with Reggie Jackson, who no one else was except for Reggie himself. And it was an awful trade, Larry Gura, because in 77, 78, Larry Gura was a very good pitcher. In 78, he was 16-4 with a 2.72 ERA, very tough lefty. His slider to Reggie Jackson, I don't think Reggie Jackson ever made contact when he batted against Larry Gura. It was one of remember the old strike zone was like the Maddox strike zone where you just had to throw it towards the umpire, and if it slid, you'd call a strike.
Especially if you were Maddox.
Right. It was the most unfair strikes. All Met fans know. Once they no one talks about that. You got Cole with the sticky stuff. Once they changed the strike zone, Maddox became a very average pitcher, I think, if you ask me. But this guy, Larry Gura, was he was like a veteran, just a tough lefty.
I'm good. We're good. We're back.
Now I can't. You're back.
All I heard, I heard something about tough lefty, but I get what you were going with.
He's a tough lefty.
We were talking about Maddox strike zone, and then it kind of went out. But yeah, we get the point. Reggie Jackson couldn't hit him.
And I was a Reggie fan, so I hated Larry Gura. But here's the funny thing. He pitched a couple of gems, though, in those series. But I learned a couple of things. The reason why he was traded, he hated Billy Martin. And back in the day, a lot of players hated Billy Martin. They talk about how great he is now. Everybody's retired. But a lot of people didn't like him. He was one of those whiskey drinking. He was a bad drunk. He was hungover a lot. He only won. Most of the time Billy Martin won is when he had all rookies and he got them to play incredibly well. As soon as the players started to become good, they were like, you know what? I don't want to hear this Billy Martin stuff. So he hated him. And he supposedly had words because Billy Martin would jerk him around. You're going to pitch. You're not going to pitch. You're going to be in the bullpen. And finally, he's like, Billy, what's going on? Let me know when I'm going to pitch. And next thing you know, boom, they traded him for Fran Healy, a journeyman catcher. But I learned some other funny things. Now, he married some woman named Cindy, like very early in his career. And so I'm looking online. I'm like, damn, there's nothing on Larry Gura. Again, it's been like the third week in a row. I can't find, he's not a pitching guy with the Rangers. There's all these different pitchers, they end up pitching coaches. Turns out he married this Cindy and they run a farm in Litchfield, Arizona. And he did something where they were running short of money, I guess, to run a farm in an area that's popular.
In Arizona? Cactus?
No, I guess it's I digress. An equestrian farm. Horses and the kids come in that have special needs. Probably a really beautiful thing, but those things, horses cost money. And supposedly the real estate value alone, they were trying to keep it. It was in his wife's family for 100 years. Probably like a Yellowstone scenario. So he came up with a thing where if you send him a letter with $2 in it, he'll send you an autograph back. He was trying to get people. He's just trying to raise money. So I'm looking it up.
Jimmy Palumbo is also doing that, guys. So if anybody sends him $2 in the mail, he will mail you an autograph.
But here's the best thing. The article that said that was from like 2011, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's kind of old now? Maybe it's shot. But then I realized, you know what? I'm totally sending in this card to get signed by Larry Gura. I think I'll send him $10. I'll say, hey, Larry, I talk about you on my podcast. No one else is talking about your kids aren't talking about you right now. But the Jimmy Palumbo show is, because that's my mantra. We will talk about guys who nobody gives a fuck about, which is why we're doing Beer League the series, because nobody cares about that movie.
You're going to send him a link? You're going to
send him a QR code
and say, hey, scan this.
To all my fans out there, I want you to send, it's Larry Gura, Gura, P.O. Box 94, Litchfield Park, Arizona, 85340. You send him a few dollars.
I hope this guy's got like a PO box set up or something, because he's about to get flooded with like 13 letters. Flooded.
I'm going to see if I can get you and Dave to do that. I think it's hysterical. And I'm going to put like $5 cash in the envelope, not even sending a check. And maybe I'll do a self-addressing. I don't know. I'm going to see how many Larry Gura autographs I can come up with. Anyway, I thought that was weird about his little world there, but he certainly was a good pitcher for a while. The card is from 1980. He was tough. He definitely had a couple of good years in there.
Jimmy, it sounds like you've known this guy your entire life.
Because you know why? I remember when we played wiffle ball with my cousin John in Colonia, New Jersey. When you throw one of those sliders that fell way off the strike zone, we would make the joke like, if Larry Gura was pitching, that's a strike right there. This is well before Maddox. So any of you little Maddox pussies out there, Larry Gura was doing the same shit 100 years ago.
No, he wasn't.
Anyway, he definitely was. He wasn't as good as Maddox, but
yeah.
Still,
so he had a good slider.
Style.
So he had stuff, but he couldn't.
He wasn't. No,
couldn't throw 65 pitch complete game after complete game.
When the new strike zone hit, Maddox was horrible. Anyway,
he was also 51. He was also 51
at the time. Hey, listen, I'm 57. I'm still better than you in all sports, but we've talked about that enough. So who do you got, my friend?
All right. Well, I don't have the guy that I'm choosing wasn't in my wedding like Larry Gura was in yours and knows every single thing about the guy, right? But I do know one thing. My guy is the guy. I'm gonna see if this gives it away. He is the proud owner of the 10,000th home run in Yankees history.
Oh, that's a tough trivia question.
All right. He only played 4 years with the Yankees. He played 17 years. I'm not gonna say his name yet. He started with Oakland.
Give me the years.
All right, 74 to 90. So right in your wheelhouse, you should be able to get this guy. He played in an outfield that consisted of, with the Yankees, I believe he was with Ricky Henderson and Dave Winfield. I don't know if he was starting
74 to 90. I have to know who this guy is.
Yeah. Okay. So he played a lot with the Braves. He finished career with the Mets. He was on the Yankees. He was already 14 years into his career. So he was a little at the tail end of things.
74. So 98, he was on the really good. The Yankees were really good.
No, 1990. So he was on the Yankees in 86, 87, 88, and 89. So actually no. 86, 87, 88, and then 90. He finished his career with a little stint with the Yankees at the back end. Claudel Washington.
Oh, Claudel. You know what?
And I brought his name up, I believe, on one of your older podcasts.
I remember.
But I thought it was interesting because, I
I had
scrambled
his
last
baseball
minute.
card. I had his baseball card years ago when he was with the A's. I would have, if
Yeah.
I had a little more time, I might have had a shot at that one.
Look,
Claudel, oh yeah, he was
not a terrible career because I don't think he
No.
started at many
He was
stops. He
fast,
probably had
right?
his opportunities.
He was
Say it
a
again?
fast guy. He had
I'm
legs,
sure
right?
at some point, let me look at his stolen bases. Yeah, in the beginning, he was definitely fast. Yeah. He had, over 300 stolen bases in his career. You can't be slow. But he wasn't like Ricky Henderson was having those years.
Yeah,
That
you
wasn't
could
shit.
steal.
Yeah,
Yep.
like Ricky Henderson had like 150 and shit like that. So
I
but
remember Claudel Washington.
17 years, only 186 home runs, less than 2,000 hits. So he was like good enough, but never really started. He was always kind of a platoon guy.
He played with like 5-6 teams?
Played everywhere. Literally
Right.
played maybe even more, honestly.
I thought you were going to say UO Washington, the guy with the toothpick. Do you remember him?
No.
But
yeah, he was an Expo, Yankee, a Brave,
all right, well, listen,
Met,
I love it. It's Larry Gura and
Blue Jay twice, Ranger twice. He's got multiple stops on teams 3 different times. He's been on the same team twice, 3 times.
For the first time, our cards kind of overlapped a little bit here. Larry Gura and Claudel
I wonder what
Washington.
Claudel Washington's numbers were against Larry Gura.
You know what? I wish we could Google that to figure it out, but we don't have time for that kind of stat against that. I wonder what UO Washington's stats were. And of course, so that's it. Claudel Washington, a couple of guys are driving off the road between him and Larry Gura. And Larry Gura is still alive, by the way, because he's still running the farm with his wife, Cindy. Information about Larry Gura you don't want to know. Larry, if you're listening, call me up. I want to talk to you.
September 29th, 1976, Royals clinched tie for AL West Division. The Claudel Washington was hit by a pitch by Larry Gura to lead the inning off, right? And he ended up scoring a run to win the game.
Great. So we had 2 competitors against each other. All right. Larry Gura, Claudel Washington
lost for the first time and capped off a brawl after Claudel Washington hit a 3-run 5th-inning home run and pimped it. So like these guys have history. They're connected. Yes. There was a brawl.
So there's a connection, but for the first time between our guys, usually you're bringing up a shitty tight end for the Packers. All right. Well, that's it. Claudel Washington, Larry Gura, and of course, my entire show is sponsored by Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326. Eyes. Drinking water. Anybody drinking a gallon of water like that's a creep. 732-326-3937. Go check out Absolute Eyewear. They're the best. It's owned by Craig and Janine Michaud. They got everything's over theirs. They got full service optical stuff. All right. They got prescription eyewear, prescription sunglasses. They got the cool sunglasses, the nerdy ones, the ones where you can't see shit. They got those reading glasses, which I'm wearing right now because I can't see nothing. Chris is blind as a bat. He's checking his lighting. He can't see anything, but he knows all about Absolute Eyewear. They sponsored Shop Sports as well. And of course, they have various products for sunglasses, including Ray-Ban, Coach Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley goes to the store. So that's it. Go check it out. $100 a complete pair. Go check out Absolute Eyewear down by the train station in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Great people. Because, Chris, when you leave there and you get something, you don't feel like a jerk off. That's the ultimate Madison Avenue phrase for that place. It's great. Go talk to Craig or Janine, and that's it. All right. So, again, 732-326-3937. All right. A couple of interesting tidbits in my life here. But before we get to that, we must discuss Patreon. Now, Giancarlo Stanton got hurt. He's number 27. And since he got hurt, I am mired in a slump on Patreon. I am stuck at 27. I don't have a 28. Maybe we'll get it during the show. Some of these cocky chop sports guys who think they know everything. And here we go. Here is the list. All right. Alex Stetsena, my piano tuner. My sister, Mary Eileen. Big George, Michael DeMosi. My mom, my cousin Joey. Rob Pastor, Kappa Sig from the 80s at Rutgers. James Kanowitz, my website guy. Jimmy Riccardi, nephew. John Henry Riccardi, nephew. Eric Palumbo, nephew. Michael Caprio over here at Shea with cornholelevel.com. More on Mike Caprio in a moment. My brother Frank, Daryl Clark, the LSU dude down there listening to my show, busting my balls. Greg Castellino, Colonia boy. Mike Shecky Lawler, good friends with Artie Lang back in the day. Dave Ben, went to school with him for 16 years. My favorite guest of all time, Pat Volkamer, Chop Sports' finest. Martin Walsack, Macadij, plays Alphonse in Beer League. Janine Michaud, Robin Achani, my cousin John Henry, Greg Alpern, my partner with the Beer League series, my nephew Bobby Palumbo, my nephew Tommy Palumbo, Tyson Hogan, who we don't know who that is. Sounds like a fake name, maybe. If he's listening, how you doing, Tyson? And, of course, number 27, Giancarlo Stanton, Louis Vicciadomini, Weege, Colonia boy. He came in last minute and hopped in at 27 a couple of weeks ago. But since the Louis Vicciadomini double down the wall, we are mired in a slump. Nothing I can do about that. So, Patreon. Go to patreon.com, www.patreon.com. Google Jimmy Palumbo Show, and you're going to see what you can do there. I appreciate it very, very much. So let's get to the regular part of our show here. A couple of things. First of all, I got a parking ticket. Not parking ticket. I got a speeding ticket in the city last week, bro. Coming home, I was dropping somebody off from the set. I'm on First Avenue, no one on the road, cruising along. There's a part of First Avenue that goes underneath the tunnel, kind of by United Nations area around there somewhere. All of a sudden, I see a guy with a flashlight. It was dark hours. We worked late. And next thing you know, I'm getting pulled over. And I'm like, whoa, I wasn't speeding. There was cars going by me. Boom, pulls me over. While I'm getting pulled over, 5 cops pull over another 5 cars. Ultimate speed trap, money grab. Guy says I'm doing 40 and a 25, which in New York City on First Ave is not moving that fast. Guy was a complete jerk off, throwing his shit at me and stuff. And parking ticket, which means I had to pay the fine. I'm going to get burned on insurance probably. I'm going to get a rash. Pissed me off. Aggravated my soul. That's how I started the week off. The next day after
no good deed goes unpunished, my friend.
Right. I feel like I jerk off. Just a money grab. So that annoys my soul because I know I'm going to, my insurance will probably go up $200 or $300 a year now for the next 3 years. So it's like a $1,200 fucking, but I guess I'll drive slow now. Other thing is, this might be the Jimmy Palumbo's pissed off podcast. Maybe we'll do that, but I'm not really that pissed off. The Writers Guild, WGA, I'm not a member of the WGA. They just went on strike this morning, which means that no new shows and films and the nobody's writing. And I don't know enough about it. I kind of know what they're complaining about, and they're right. It has to do with the whole streaming and the upending of the industry, and also how they staff each show and stuff like that. There's a million shows on, and these big companies now are big global companies, and they're taking advantage of people using their work, and especially for television, but films as well. When you don't have writers, you don't have product. I mean, it's like being a farmer. I want to be a farmer, but I don't have any soil.
I wonder how many shows are going to be like the first Netflix show to be completely written by AI.
Well, there's issues with that, but I'm not so sure an AI show can write a show that well. But
I mean,
yet I
might
don't
be
know.
The best show you ever seen in your life.
Could be. It could be. I don't know anything about it. I do know I'm a union guy. The Screen Actors Guild's been very good to me. Health, pension, all that other crap. And I'm friends with a bunch of writers, and they deserve to get paid. When they get a show that's a big hit, they deserve to get paid and paid on the next one as well. I wish I knew more about the issues in and out. There's probably a lot of them. This strike is probably going to set up.
I can imagine being a writer, right? And then writing a show, season 1, pouring everything I have into it, getting behind a show where maybe I kind of felt like maybe I was underpaid, did a really good job. The show takes off, and then I'm not brought back for season 2 because, I want to get my money now.
Well, there's also residuals. You do a show for 4 years. It's Better Call Saul, or it's a huge hit like that is, and all next thing you know, you're not getting residuals because it's being put on, chopsports.com or jimmypalumbo.com instead of these other places wherever these networks feel like they can shove it. and you don't get residuals back. And because they don't tell you how many views you get, it's not like you don't know anything. And now there's YouTube and all these different crazy stuff. So, and now they're taking shows off the air. I don't know if you've known about that. Everybody's like, no, it'll stay on Netflix forever. They can own the rights to it, right? And then take it off so you can't watch it whenever you want. It's probably a way to get viewers, coming back like that. I'm sure one of these days they're going to take Friends off the air as a marketing pitch. Like March 31st is the last day Friends could be seen.
Well, I don't know if it would make much sense to do that, because it's one of those shows for shows like that. It's just like who wants us next? It's a network is going to bid.
No. You don't understand though. They'll have the rights to it and pull it off the air. You understand the difference? And then be like, oh, your show's not airing until we want it to. And then, so there's all kinds of crap like that going on, which again, it's out of my control. I'm pro union on that in this regard. So I hope they settle. It's a bad time for a strike. The economy's not great. Things are shitty. For me, acting is always, it's so hard to book work. I'm blessed with this show I just booked, and it's just hard, man. And I don't need any, in other words, it's almost like, to me, it's like being down 4-0 and start a Yankee game, which happens a lot with the Yankees, but maybe the Yankees should go on strike. We're going to get to that in a minute. Anyway, so that's that. I also did stand-up last week over at Daryl's house. Really cool place, Daryl Hall and Oates guy. Really cool bar, up about an hour and a half, hour and 15 north of me. Cool little place, the kind of place you'd be like, I'd see a band here. It's cool.
Yeah, my parents were actually pissed off because I told them about it, and they were like, oh, they had shit going on. They couldn't go. But my mother was like, hopefully he goes there again because I'll go. My mom's been there like 5 times.
Yeah,
she brings all her friends because her and my dad have gone.
It's
like
a cool place. It's a cool area too, kind of a funky area. But that being said, Jimmy Palumbo got the start at Daryl's house. 2 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs. I don't know what happened to me, man. I got on they sat everybody far away from the stage. Now you got to remember, some comics think they're great all the time, and then when you sit in the back, you're like, he wasn't as good as he thinks he was. That kind of thing. I'm not that way. I'm like, if I don't think I played that well, I don't know what happened. I got on stage. The audience was all sat very far away, and that's the way they sat them. And so there was literally 3 rows of empty tables in front of me, which is very hard when you're on a stage and you're talking to people that are way far away. Plus, they had these big TV monitors up, right? And I could see myself on the monitors, like really close. It was odd because I looked like Charles Durning looked like a fat fuck sitting up there, and so I definitely I was definitely like going for the rosin bag a lot. I was like trying to dig the little trench in front of the mouth. I was definitely Gene Monahan came out a few times. I just couldn't get. I got into rhythm for a little bit. Mike Massimino getting involved here. What's up, buddy? Glad to see you finished up on Maisel, which I think it was Maisel you finished up with. Actor popping in, Mike Massimino. Me and him usually, we audition against each other a lot. And Mike, sad to say, I'd love to say that I kick your ass all the time, but that is not the case. He beats me out way more than I beat out him. But he's a great guy. We have fun. We see each other. But really good actor, too. He plays everything very real. Love him. So, yeah, dude, I just didn't have it. The other 2 guys were more talking to the crowd, and I don't really do that. And then I had my watch set for the 30 minutes I had to do. As soon as that watch went off, I was like, good night, everybody. But afterwards, when I got done, I didn't feel I had a good set. The people were like coming up to me, oh, you were great. You were great. I couldn't tell if they were like just being nice people, or I felt like saying, did we win 11-10 in extra innings so I didn't get the loss? You know what I mean? It was like game started where Jimmy Palumbo wins, that kind of thing.
I mean, they were probably turning to each other and be like, it's not bad, but you got to give him credit for going up there,
Yeah, at least he came way up here.
And like my favorite fighter gets his ass beat. You'd be like, it's really tough to make the walk. You got to give credit. So now you got your shit beat in.
It was just, I tell you, and that pissed me off. Again, my buddy Mike Massimino on the chat thing here, dude, he just tapped in, said, I miss running into you at auditions. It's the worst thing. about I don't get to see these guys anymore. I only see him on Facebook, and he's got to go on there and promote his career, and I'm promoting my stupid shit. And you don't get to bust balls and find out what you're doing. I miss you too. I miss all the gang. It's not talked about enough. You can't go to. I know working from home is good for a lot of people, but actors, we got to be with people. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. So my stand-up show was a pedestrian effort. My ERA definitely went up. It was just a. I don't know. I just struggled a little bit. What can I tell you? But maybe I didn't prep enough. I was working on the show the day. Maybe I lost some focus. But I assure you, I'll be back next time I do stand up. What else we got, Christopher? Now, okay, I'll get to some easy things. Rangers. Okay, I know that's not true. You can't say that. Okay, you're in the New York area. You know, you don't have a national audience. The Rangers to me was a pain in the ass because I am a pure Ranger playoff fan. I will watch the Rangers in the playoffs. I'm not a Devils fan because they weren't there growing up. But I don't hate the Devils. And the Rangers are up 2-0, and everybody's like, oh, here we go. And I thought the Rangers looked good the first two games. Now, my uneducated eye, all I saw for the rest of the series was the Devils are faster, younger, better, everything. Like, they were better. I don't care what anybody says. The Devils are better than the Rangers. Their goalie was better. They're faster. Last night was a joke. Rangers played very poorly. And plus, the Devils, like, they were flying. They were like 2-on-1s every 5 seconds. Rangers look fat, old, and slow. They look like me playing softball now. And the goal they gave up was a brutal. They get it out of. Guy was like jerking around with the puck. Even me, again, uneducated view. Rangers
should have just cleared it a couple more times. Maybe they would have had a chance if they just clear it.
And then when it's 2-0, I get it.
Sarcastic. I have no idea what they could have done.
And all you have to do is, when it's 2-0, you're screwed. But if you get a goal, everybody gets a little tight in the ass. The Devils deserve to win. They're better.
Well, when you're down 1-0 in hockey, you might as well be down 300-0.
It's like World Cup soccer. When you're down 1-0, it's over. It's like being down 21-3, and you don't have Aaron Rodgers. The Knicks beat the Cavs since my last show. I loved it. Played well. Cavs played horrific. Then they played the Miami Heat, and New York. Nick, God, all fans. This is how fans are stupid. We all do this. Oh my God, we're not playing the really good team. We're playing the other team, forgetting that the other team is coming in red hot with a player who's better than anybody on your roster, Jimmy Butler. And next thing you know, the Knicks look like they were like, oh, wait, the second round started? What? Hey, who? And next thing you know, you're relying on Obi Toppin, who's not that good. Everybody thinks he's great. He stinks. And Brunson had a bad game. He was off. No Randall. So, again, everybody's like, we don't need Randall. We don't need Randall because we go blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but what about that 26 points a night that he pours in?
Offensive boards that he's bringing.
Boards, rebounds, defense. Of course you need him. I hate his game, the way he looks sometimes in isolation drives me nuts. But you got to get a healthy. If Randall's not healthy, Knicks aren't going anywhere. But I also think, listen, my buddy Pat Volkemer, who's been very vocal on this, he's convinced that the Knicks just had a bad game and they'll be fine. They match up well against the Heat. Maybe that's true. But I look at playoff games, all playoff games, especially in hockey and the NBA. When you lose a game at home to start the series, like that's a big deal. You have a higher chance of losing that series than a lot. Teams do win down 1-0, but a home loss that's bad. But the Knicks have to rebound tonight. I think they are a little bit better than the Heat. And Jimmy Butler hurt his leg, but we shall see. But Brunson has to step up. Hopefully, he will. I think the Knicks will be okay.
I don't think they're better than the Heat. I think that
they're close. You want to look,
what?
It's close.
I just think you could say like in a vacuum possibly, but this isn't in a vacuum. This is with Eric Spoelstra. This is with team that's gone deep into the playoffs several years in a row. Realistically, like Miami turns it up in the postseason, and the difference is what you said. In the playoffs, in the NBA, the most important thing is the best player on the court. And by far, it's Jimmy Butler.
Now he's hurt. I get what you're
but
saying.
that almost like, is he? He stayed in the game. I think he's something, obviously, Jimmy Butler's a little bit different than the rest of the guys in the league.
He's having a great, listen, he's been scoring, and not so many players score 35 points a night in a playoff round.
And it's not even like it's just, he turns it up every year. It's not like you could say Jimmy Butler's just having a good week. In the playoffs, look at his track record. Jimmy Butler is a dog.
Another argument, the coach of the Heat, when he first started out there, he had, I think it was like the LeBron and all that stuff. And everybody was like, oh, this guy stinks. This guy stinks. And all of a sudden, I forgot. Let me tell you how bad I am. I forgot he was still coaching the Heat. I see his face, and I'm like, that guy's he's still coaching the Heat.
Jimmy, are you ready for this? He's 6th all time in wins.
Listen,
Sixth all time. The NBA's been around for a long time. A lot of
and
coaches.
He didn't. And every year he didn't have that magic team. So yes, he's probably a top 5 coach in the NBA right now.
He's the best coach in the NBA. If you ask me, he's a top 6 coach in the NBA in wins all time. That's not a joke. He's got multiple rings. He's got and look, he was handpicked by one of the best basketball minds of a generation. Pat Riley carried him up the entire time. They let Van Gundy go because they had Spoelstra way back in the day.
But do you really want to see Pat Riley walking out of the garden? He's got that smirk on his face.
They didn't let Van Gundy go, but Pat Riley and Van Gundy split up.
Pat Riley a better way to put it. You could argue that Pat Riley's he was a decent player, decent, cup of coffee, but decent. He was one of the best coaches of all time, with Knicks and the Lakers, of course. Now he's a GM or he runs the president,
team president,
and the Heat never suck. So Pat Riley, yes. So what makes these Knicks fans, and myself included, the Knicks always disappoint. So we're like the Jets, blah blah blah. So yeah, the Knicks got to bounce back, but the key is Brunson. Brunson's still the key. So
yeah, but Brunson's questionable.
I know, but it's another thing. He played too, though. So you got Butler.
I think he's going to play. I think that's just like pretty much everyone's kind of banged up.
Now, which brings us to another horrific event.
I haven't heard Quickly's name in a while.
To me, the worst event. Like, to me, it's like, let's see. How can I word this? America's Got Talent, Dancing with the Stars, what other halftime shows of the Super Bowl, and the NFL draft. They're all in horrific television programming.
You left out the Oscars, the Grammys,
all of that. To me, the NFL draft is way worse. And what I love is all these guys sitting there going like, "Oh my God, the Eagles had the best draft. Oh my God, oh my God." It's like that. There's got to be a website, and I'm sure there is, of you cannot judge a draft the day after the draft. You have to judge a draft. I say NFL 3 years later. How many guys are starting?
I mean, yeah. Now I have some counterpoints. I agree with you that nobody knows how the draft's going to play out until a year, then again a year after,
and
then
all the
again
fans
a year after,
jumping around. It's
right?
So stupid.
But you could have some excitement because you think you have a need at a position. I don't know enough about the college players to know, but I know it's like, well, I'm looking at the Packers roster. I know they need a tight end, so I'm hoping they go that direction. When they do, I'm happy about it. So I'll say that. Secondary to that, what I did notice this year, right? My nephews are younger. They're not really into football, right? They watch the draft and they got pretty much a little 5-minute course on every player that's entering the league. Watch 3 or 4 drafts in a row. You're going to know a lot about these guys, and that helps in that regard. So it's just 1 day, 2 days of sitting there watching. You get a little bit of the fluff that comes with it, but at least it's football film. At least it's that.
Okay. Everybody talks about offensive line.
Not bad as the Oscars. Give me a break, dude.
When you draft an offensive lineman, nobody cares about 5 years later. And you go, oh my God, the guy's going to rock there. When do we get him? Certain picks don't matter. Injuries happen. I disagree
with that.
Listen, if you draft only offensive linemen every year, just keep on drafting offensive linemen, odds are you'll win minimum 8 to 9 games a year. Because how many teams with a great offensive line suck? Very few. I think 1 year the Cowboys, but the Cowboys always suck. So I think the draft is overplayed. How well did the Giants do? They took a cornerback from Maryland who doesn't get interceptions. They took a center from Minnesota.
Good, bro. I think the Giants, from what I know, height, attributes, or you have to look like, do they?
You don't, but Chris, you don't follow college football,
bro.
What
But
do
it
where do
doesn't,
you get?
Jimmy. You could look at metrics and look at the competition he played against. Look what he did against Ohio State. Look what he did against receivers that are in the NFL. He had a good little. He's a good corner from what he did. He's a first round corner.
He didn't have any picks.
He could bust. He could get hurt. 100%.
No picks against Rutgers. Well, he must stink. The other thing
Rutgers
is
that, how many times did Rutgers throw that game? 9.
First of all, and then the center for
9,
Minnesota.
10.
The only thing I'll say about the center for Minnesota is Minnesota ran the ball very effectively against a lot of teams.
Everyone sucks.
That's not true. The center on Minnesota is good, but let's see if he.
What do you know?
And the wide receiver, something shitty happened to the Giants. The Giants' biggest need, they had the worst wide. That's why I think Daniel Jones could be a top 3 quarterback, because he was throwing to me, you, and Dave on a weekly. And Dave was a tight end. He caught like 9 balls a game. Me and you were blanketed. And the Giants needed a wide receiver. And in the first time that I remember in the draft, 4 picks, it was in the 3rd round, the 4 picks before the Giants picked in the 3rd round, everybody took a wide receiver. So every good wide receiver was gone by the time so they took this guy from Tennessee. You know what his claim to fame is? He had a big game against Alabama. That's really his claim to fame. But nobody knows how good these guys are. You just don't know. Anyway, I just think, and the thing that pissed me off the most is the best. I hate the fact the best college player in the last 3 years, maybe of all time, was the punter for Rutgers, Adam Korsak. And here's why. First of all, when you're a punter for Rutgers, that means you are
deep end.
You are in. When you're a punter for Rutgers, Christopher, that means you are in the game borderline more than the quarterback is. You can make that argument. I think there was one.
Yeah, which is why the Maryland corner probably didn't have any picks against Rutgers.
He didn't have any picks against anybody. So he didn't. So the other thing is,
they don't throw corners that don't have picks. It's a good sign. They don't throw to that side.
Oh, here we go.
Trust me.
Stop it.
Listen,
I want the guy to be good. I'm a Giant fan. I wish them all to be good.
You just said the center was good. You don't know shit about the center, but he's good.
I just know they ran the ball up the middle a lot. Isn't the center in the middle of the line? So this guy, Adam Korsak, what is the job of a punter? Is really simple. The job of a punter is to not get your punt blocked, right? That's number 1. Number 2, when you punt it, you want the other team to start out not past the 20-yard line. So I watched this kid kick for 3 years, right? But all I know is Rutgers would go 3 and out from their own 6. He would punt, and Penn State, Ohio State, didn't matter. They started at the 11. Every game, even Ohio's. Can you imagine if Rutgers would have been even worse than they are? When you watch a Rutgers game, the opposing team always started at the 9.
So he just didn't get drafted?
So he's a free agent contract with. He's got this weekend. He's at the Chiefs. If they sign him, then he'll be with the Steelers the following weekend. I think Pacheco on the Chiefs just said to the coach, "Dude, all I know is the guy punts. The other team starts out inside the 10." Now he's an Australian guy, but I watched this guy punt in the spring games, and he did the normal NFL style. He's got a strong leg. People just got shy with the Australian thing. He also is like smart. He's not a jerk off.
No, he's a punter, Jimmy. So nobody cares. They're gonna take their flyers on the free agency.
Listen to me. 3 years from now, when we're judging this draft, the best punter in the league will be Adam Korsak.
I'll bet on that. Number 1. Number 2, he might not be in the league. And number 3,
Adam Korsak will be the best punter.
We just spent
just
spent like 5 minutes bashing the Rutgers. The NFL draft. Jalen Hyatt, whose claim to fame was a big game against the best defense in the country, which is like Jalen Hyatt. I think that was a great pick by the Giants from what he had to go up against. Considering where they got him, I think it's a good pick.
All I know is this: the Texans had 17 picks in the first round.
Talking about the Rutgers punter
because he's the best player in college football. The Texans had 17 picks in the first round, and the Eagles had 15 picks in the first round. And it appears that the entire the Eagles campus is now at Georgia. And so, yeah, Eagles and Texans got all these great players. But the NFL draft is the show is horrific, unwatchable show. But you're into it. That's how you make your living.
I don't watch the draft per se. I watch it on my phone, but I'm just saying.
Well, watch it on the phone.
My nephews enjoyed it.
Okay. Now, where am I at now? Okay.
Great question.
kids today, you just don't understand. Another thing, Rutgers spring game. I made the mistake. I promised myself. I've been watching Rutgers since 1983. I can't read the articles anymore because it's all about we're gonna. I'm out of gas. I can't do it anymore. And I made the mistake of turning on the spring game. And I didn't think Rutgers looked that good at all, but it's a spring game, means nothing. But their quarterback, this Gavin Wimsatt, who's supposed to be the second coming. If you didn't know he left high school early and was a 4-star recruit, you would think he's like the fourth string. I think he just never looks good in my eyes. That's depressing. I don't get it. Makes me crazy. But listen, that's the way it goes. In other big news, we have a cornholelevel.com, Christopher. Mike Caprio's company has signed up again for another 3 months here at Shea. Cornholelevel.com. That's right. Now, Chris, what it is, it's a little cornhole leveler. You got a cornhole board. You hook this on. You got your board all leveled up. That's the way to go. They're only, what is it? They're like $19.95, 20% off. If you mention the Jimmy Palumbo Show, JP Sports or Chop Sports, you get 20% off of $19.95. That's a bargain. It's like TJ Maxx. That's like going to Marshall's. It's an awesome thing. Chris, you're the kind of guy, if you owned a cornhole board, you'd want it to be level. You wouldn't embarrass yourself. Because me and you, we haven't even.
We already talked about this. A crooked cornhole, bro. I don't know if you could really enter anywhere with a crooked cornhole.
I don't think. Can you get laid if you have a barbecue and you have a bad cornhole? You're not getting laid. There's no.
It depends on. There's some people are into crooked cornhole, but I'm not. I know that.
Listen,
so
you go to cornholelevel.com, buy your little cornhole leveler, and you make sure that your cornhole board is level 2, fro, left, right. You get it right. God bless America. Cornholelevel.com. The only way to go for your stocking stuffers and it's a great ball breaking gift to all the barbecues coming up and any tournaments that are coming up. Me and Chris, we're not ranked yet because we just have to play for 20 minutes. We're ranked like 11th. So
yeah, I mean, I know that I'm at least wherever you're ranked, I'll probably be ranked at least 1 or 2 spots above that, no matter what. So
right. So we're figuring right now we've never played and we're ranked like 230, 231, that area. Yeah. And we don't play.
So I'm 230 and you're 231.
Yeah. So if we play for a half hour this summer, we'll be probably in the top 20.
Yeah. So I'll be 19 and you'll be 20.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we play a lot, I mean, then it's like 1 and 2. That's like,
I'll be 1 and you'll be 2, of course, in that scenario, though.
And so that is it. Go check out cornholelevel.com. It's a really cool gadget. I kid around about cornhole, but this thing is really cool. And I think everyone should have one for their barbecues. Now, Christopher, working on the show, this thing tomorrow. Can't even say show. Working tomorrow. I'm excited. I got a little heavy lifting to do tomorrow at Shea. I'm a little nervous. I'll be a little nervous, but I can't really talk about it.
Want to work on your lines now?
And please, I don't
want to mention. I'm trying, guys. I'm still trying. I
can't say a word of what it is. But I made some good friendships. And matter of fact, one of the actresses may come on my show next week. Miss Annie Haig may come on and talk about her career, which will be fun. So I know you mock me out for pickleball, and it is a very mockable thing. I get it. But all of a sudden, during 10 days ago, I got accused of not playing like the good people, right? Now, Chris, you know me. What is the worst thing you can do to me? Tell me that I suck. And if I say I suck, that's okay. But when someone says, you haven't really played the good players. Oh, really? Okay. Well, where's the sign up for these good players? So I show up Sunday, 8 a.m. Now, for me to get up 8 a.m. on a Sunday, I'm aggravated. And I get on the court and the guy goes, Jimmy, you got a tough match there. I was like, all right, tough match? Okay. Dude, I was like Jordan in the playoffs, bro. The first 2 matches. And when you lose, you have to go to the losers.
Are you talking about the Wizards? The Wizards, Jordan, right?
Listen, no. I was completely dominating play, okay? Beat these really good players. But then what do you think happened, Chris? So I win the first 2 matches, but I was classic, like the horse that takes the early lead at the Derby. All of a sudden, I was like sweating profusely, huffing and puffing, dominating. And they're like, Jimmy, I didn't realize you were that good. Like, yeah, no shit, because I care right now. Get to the 3rd match, okay? On the other side of the court was like LeBron and Jordan. I was like, uh-oh. I'm running out of gas. There's not enough fuel to get to any airport. And boom, bitch slapped like 11-1, right? So I go to the losers lounge. I start busting balls. Like, everybody, I'm in the losers lounge. Go to the next match. I hop in. I'm with this girl, this woman. She's probably like 50 years old. Awesome player. I'm like, I'm playing with this good girl, like mixed doubles. I'm going to do great. She hits a couple of shots, and I'm like, oh my God, this girl's awesome. We got beat 11-0. Now, I will admit, when it was 7-0, it was 98% my fault. I was in over my head once again. But the reason why I was aggravated, not because I can't hang with these people.
I 100% knew the story was going to turn this way.
Dude,
I knew it.
I was completely, when I tell you, I couldn't breathe. I was so pumped up for this. It was like, I was like Tommy Hearns against Hagler. I swung, I hit everything.
5K Jimmy can't breathe on his third game of pickleball, and he's running a 5K.
Well, listen, at least 5K, you can go at your own pace. Pickleball, it was like sprinting going to 5K.
No, because you said you could run the 5K.
I'm running it.
30 minutes.
2 weeks, I'm running a 5K in Ramsey. What do you
said
think?
You could do it under 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think I can. You say no. So I tell you what, 31 minutes is the over and under. What are you taking?
No.
You're saying over.
I'm saying over, and I'm not even talking shit, bro.
Okay.
I'm saying that.
So listen, the official bet is
you're going to hit a long.
When I run this 5K, you're saying that I am going to run over 31 minutes. Okay. Do you realize, though, with like 600 yards to go, I may die.
Yeah, that's what worries me a little bit. I think that, like, you'd be better off not knowing and just doing your best, because once you have to start making deals with yourself, you might have to,
I will finish under 31 minutes. My friend Robert
like
Achani, like, you're running
a full extra minute.
Listen, I'm a fat fuck, but I
running no 5K, bro.
Well, have you ever run a 5K?
I'm not talking shit.
Whoa.
I'm not talking shit.
Don't tell me you've never run a 5K.
Jimmy, have I run a 5K? Like, have I gone and put on a thing? No, but I've definitely run more than 3 miles at pop. But I've never done it. Okay.
Final score, Chris Gucci talking shit in an event he's never played. You've never played.
No. What do you...
have you ever run a 5K?
I'm doubting your abilities to complete a 5K in under 30 minutes. Now you just seemingly gave yourself an extra minute over the course of a week's time. I said
31 minutes. 31 minutes. That's
you said that
enough.
Today, but the original was definitely not 31 minutes.
Okay.
And I don't think
so then,
that you're going to
you're going to bet the under at 31 minutes?
I'm betting the heavy over. You're not running
heavy over at 31.
Minutes.
From a guy who's never run a 5K. So again,
no. I don't run. I never ran a 5K because I don't practice exercising. I don't like that's like if I'm going to go run a mile or two.
So you would run it.
Right? I'll go running, but I'm not running a 5K because that's just not 30
minutes.
Do.
If I do it in 30 minutes, you're going to do it in 22. You're that much faster.
No, I'm saying that you're not. I'm not worried about what I'm going to have to do.
Look at Louis Viccidomini. 31 minutes is hauling ass on a 5K. Not really, Louis.
Jimmy, yes, it is, bro. Yes, it is. I don't know if you realize you're running.
I ran two 5Ks in my life. Okay.
How many Ks
I told you this
two pickleball matches is in a 6-foot square? How many K is that?
First of all, it's real simple. I've ran 2 5Ks in my life. The first one I actually practiced and ran a little bit before, and I did it 30 minutes, like 30 minutes and 8 seconds.
How old were you?
Okay. Doesn't matter.
No, it does.
It was about 10 years ago. Okay.
Okay.
Then the next year, I didn't run at all. I decided to do it on the morning of, and I ran it at 31 minutes. Okay. Now that I know I have your face on the line at running this, I will look. I'm getting that. Look.
Yeah.
At
let's
heat,
see what year was it, because I think that you might be in a time warp right now. Because
okay, hang on a second. My buddy Louie's on the chat line here, and he's saying I've been running 1 a month since January. Okay. And what is your time, Louie? Answer the question, please, and I will let it know. Listen, I will do it under 31 minutes. I may die.
Don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash, my friend.
Hey, listen, if I drop dead, you take my life insurance policy. Maybe that's
episode
good.
112 brought to you by Chris Gucci.
Chris Gucci. No, it'll be brought to you by Life Insurance Policy.
And his silly bet.
I will have AI.
So Louis running at 40 minutes and he's dying.
Okay, 39 minutes and done. First of all, that's 8 minutes additionally. That's Louis. Come on, bro. Yeah, but you're in shape now, Louis. 39 minutes. That's awful. Come
No,
on.
see, I think what
I could run 39 minutes 5K backwards for Christ's
so
sake.
Jimmy,
Come on.
when they took the time on your first 5K
they put
that
the
you're
little
talking about, real
doohickey
quick,
on
let
your
me
leg.
finish. Let me finish. Do you know like I'll like count? Well, I'll be like, I'll tell my niece, I'll be like, Juliet, go get my belt upstairs. It's on the foot of my bed. I'll time you. And then I count and I'll be like, no, she's on her way back. I'm like, 4, 5. That was so fast. Oh my God. You think they were doing that to you that day, Jimmy? Because there is no way
you put the
ran a
little
30
thing on
minute
your
5K.
Weech, defend me. They put the little thing on your ankle. It's an official time. That's what they do it in the marathons, for Christ's sake. That's how it works. I will have an official time. You're saying I'm going to be over 31 minutes. I'm going to say I'm going to come in at under 31 minutes.
Where is this taking place and when? Because now I'm
going to have my social media girl with this. Might be live streamed. Maybe I'll do the podcast while I'm running. Can we do that?
So Jimmy, you need to run it. Basically what he's telling you there is you need to run at max speed the entire time.
That's not, it's 3.2 miles, Louis. I've done it before. Well, why can't I do it again? I don't know what it means. I'm older and I'm fatter, but like, what am I going to do? I'll tell you one thing. I ain't doing it in 39 minutes.
What's the bet? What's the bet here? Because like, what's the standard?
To me, it's just me giving you shit.
Okay. And then vice versa is you just saying like, yeah, you were right. Because I'll once I'm right, I don't give shit that much anymore. I'll just be like, hey, I knew it.
Listen, I can't believe none of my fans beer run in Tampa on the 20th. It takes me 3 hours. How many miles? It's not a 10K. Big difference between a 10K.
Well, it's a beer
5K.
run. That's a beer run.
Well, then I'll run it in 6 minutes, the whole entire thing. Look at my friend Donna. Oh, because I didn't even talk about chasing
Donna,
miracles.
I'll give you 2-1 odds on that.
Look at that. Look at the
28
here.
28.
I can't believe. Listen,
she's shaving off 3 minutes. Donna, you're playing.
I don't know.
With
you know what?
Here.
28 minutes is going to be a bitch. I'll admit that. But
Donna,
all depends
I'll give you 2-1 odds on that one.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to in the morning of the meet. I'm going to call you up, and you'll piss me off so much. I'll finish it in fucking 21 minutes.
I got 50 that Jimmy ain't even doing the 5K. That's my 50.
Listen, which leads us to, chasing.
You better get
miracles.
all them chasing miracles. You better put a miracle at the end of that 5K, bro, because you'll be chasing that miracle the entire time.
You don't understand. You don't understand. I went to chasingmiracles.com. And look at Teresa Talla for a Colonial High School grad telling me, "Here you go, darling." That's right. Well, listen, if you go to Chasing Miracles,
for a mile.
Listen, though, Chris.
Maybe
I'm on my 3rd
mile.
day.
I'll agree to that.
I decided
that 2nd and 3rd mile are going to hit different, buddy.
Listen, I made a decision.
Is it around a track or are you going up a hill?
No, you gotta go up right into town.
It's just like a regular 5K.
Right on the street. Like you're on New Dover Road, that kind of crap.
New Dover Road? You ain't running on New Dover Road.
No, they closed the road, bro. It's closed.
But I know, but if that's the type of road you're running on, you're screwed.
It's just a regular road. It's not
you can't even ride a bike on New Dover Road anymore.
Dude, look at the fans counting me out. I can't. When I'm in the 8th inning, scattering 4 hits. First of all, I made a decision. Let's look at my sponsors, okay? Let's break it down. I have Absolute Eyewear, which is really the Jimmy Palumbo show sponsor, even though somehow, Jimmy Palumbo sponsor, Absolute Eyewear, okay? I wear their glasses, right? I got cornholelevel.com. When I play cornhole, I use these things, right? Now I have chasingmiracles.com, and they, of course, have phototherapy patches using light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems. I decided, Donna and Tommy at chasingmiracles.com, she sent me a sample of the patches, bro. I'm wearing the patches, bro. I'm wearing the X39 and the X49, and I have time. I'm on my 3rd day. I'm already faster on the pickleball court, feeling good, losing a little weight.
For 2 matches.
I will totally come in under 31 minutes. I'm going to do it. There's no doubt in my mind.
So the next objective is, and it's spring. We're here. We're gonna find one. We'll find one very, very soon. How many weeks do you need to not
I got to
train?
find out. It's in May sometime. A couple
How
weeks.
many weeks do you need to not train from now until then?
I'm not going to
Because
train
you're-
at all. I'm
No,
just.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what
Exercising.
I'm saying. Like, how much time do you mentally need to prepare yourself to fail at this before you have to see my face?
First of all, do you realize? First of all, the bet really is unfair. I'll tell you why.
No.
I'll run.
The bet
I'll
is
just.
I'm not saying that I'm going to do it. You said you could do it. No
It's
question.
an unfair bet because I'll run myself.
Established that there's definitely a question.
As long as there's no, if I don't get injured, if I get injured during the thing, that it's a void. But I'm gonna like boogie the last few feet to try to get in and get it under the time. I'll have my watch going.
Jimmy, it's gonna be you're gonna be like
so. What are you saying?
Through.
So
you're
you're saying
gonna be like 40% through, and you're gonna be
okay.
on 14 minutes or 15 minutes. You're gonna be like, I have to do better in the second half of this than I did in the first, and you're gonna be dead tired.
Okay.
already.
Okay. Time out a second. So I'm gonna ask my fan base, what do you think I'm gonna run it in?
I'm saying that there's gonna be a healthy portion of this walked. And it's going to
I may have to walk. So at 31 minutes, okay, I wish my brother was listening to this. He'd call me a fat fuck, first of all. But secondly, he's a marathon runner. At 31 minutes, you think I'm going to run 35, 38, 39, 40?
I'm saying that I don't know where your psyche's going to be if you start looking at the clock midway through. There could be a shred of you trying to hit it, but I think that there's going to be more of a likelihood that you see like I'm in over my head. And I'm going to mail it in and just say, you know what? These guys were right. Because when you're in that moment, it's a lot. It's not that you can make that decision here. You're going to have to make a decision when your chest is burning.
Ready? Real simple. If I run it under 31, you have to sign up for Patreon and be number 28 at $3.
Jimmy, I will 100% agree to that.
And if I lose, I'll give Chop Sports my $3 a month. That's a good way. So it's a $36 a year bet.
All right, deal. No, I'll sign up for the top entry. I'll do the top dog.
Look at that, the $10 a month. First of all, my friend Robin's saying it's gonna take me 50 minutes. Robin, why don't you calm down and have a marshmallow? First of all, as soon as I mention money, who chimes in? Your friend and mine, Dave Sturgio. Deal. He's gonna double it. Look at this. So it's gonna be Chris. No, I don't even want Chop Sports. It's got to say Dave Sturgio and Chris Gucci. Personal credit card on my Patreon.
I think that we could kind of help spin this into the Chasing Miracles thing and be like, this is going to be sponsored by Chasing Miracles because Jimmy's chasing this miracle time that only he thinks he could hit.
I can't believe. Is there anybody on this list or watching this show that thinks that old fat boy here is going to come in under 31 minutes on the 5K? I need to know this. Right now, it seems like
Jimmy's
Dave, Robin, Louie.
We got to find a nice little cause for Jimmy to donate to. So all you guys, anybody that wants to bet, we'll just put it into the charitable portion of this. But I think that you should do this, Jimmy, and we'll follow you around with a camera, and you could, we'll blow cigarette smoke in your face the entire race or something like that to add some elements of danger.
Dude, the fans, I can't. You know what? I wish people just don't understand what a competitive jerk off I am. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Teresa Talifer, at least. Is it Teresa Talifer or Teresa? It's been that long. I know there was a Teresa Pike. I think it's Teresa Talifer. I went to high school with her. She believes I can do it. That's all that counts. 50 minutes, Robin, being a complete jerk off there. And look at Dave, no fucking chance. This is great. This is going to be, you know what? With the Foreman movie coming out, it's going to be a little down goes Frazier moment. Who's the guy that Foreman beat to take the championship? I think he's dead now. Most boring fight ever. And then Foreman clocked him in like the 6th round. The guy fell on his face.
Was it
Michael
the
Powell?
bigger
Michael
dude?
Powell?
Not listing.
This is
Sonny Liston?
You know what?
No, that was Muhammad Ali.
No. George Foreman, when he got older, he fought that good Michael.
Oh, Michael Moorer.
Michael Moore, he's dead now. He died because of it.
I don't think so. I thought you were talking about old George Foreman back in the day who he won his belt off.
Remember when he was a fat bastard standing up in the corner, and then all of a sudden he started to fight, and
I'll tell you what, George Foreman wasn't running no 5K at that time either.
I can't believe this. You know what? Listen. I'll be the first one to say I'll be the first one to say I lost a bet.
You're going to be.
But I'm telling you right now. See that? Well, listen. First of all, Sturgio's being a jerk off now. He's saying I have trouble putting on my spikes and I want to run a race. First of all, I think those marathon runners from Sudan, they have trouble putting on their spikes at 57.
Jimmy's got to take a deep breath. A deep breath and exhale long, like a 3-second exhale as he puts on his cleats.
First of all,
And he's running a 5K.
I think again, I can't wait for the Olympics to come back because one of the Olympic sports is going to be a combination of putting on your spikes and putting on your ski boots. I think wouldn't that be a great thing? You sit in the lodge and they time you how fast you can put your ski boots on. I can't compete in that because it takes me 3 hours, and then I want to have a Bloody Mary.
So
and
over under on ski boots,
and then I don't want to
31
ski.
minutes.
Over and under 31 minutes. Dave Winfield Day here at Shea. So Dave, listening in here, how many minutes do you think I'll do it in? How come no one's saying about the time I'm going to do it in?
I'm saying that it's not even going to approach it. I'm saying it's going to be like minutes over, minutes over. It's not going to be like a race at the end. We're going to be laughing at you as you struggle through the last 3/4 of a mile. And it's going to be like, Jimmy, it's like you're about 6 minutes past the point of where you thought you would finish.
They're going to laugh at you. They're going to laugh at you. What movie? Carrie. All right. Well, listen. All right. Listen, if I drop dead and if I finish under 31 and then I drop dead, I want it to be known, Reggie J. Oh, he's saying 40 foot. I love it. Some people think I'm going to fish in LT. You know what? The next week's show, whatever the time is, that's the number of the show I'll do. Maybe that should be it.
You're doing this week?
I got to figure out. I saw the sign up at Ramsey. It's for a charity.
Dude, you better excuse my language. You better think about this long and hard.
You don't understand competitive.
No, I do.
That's my Dave. Episode number equals your time. That's so great. I could come in like a little Elvis Patterson at 34. But I can tell you one thing. I will not be Giancarlo. I will not be Catfish Hunter with the A's, 29, 30. I think it's going to be between
Aaron Judge, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my prediction. I don't think
Aaron Judge.
99 minutes. But if I win, I'm going to start. I might, look at this. People are now. I'm going to get fans there at Shea. Robin say will come. So that's unbelievable. Well, listen. All right. Well, anyway. I'm taking these. Mo. All right. There you go. Oh, I thought it said no. It says Mo. All right. Well, listen, go to chasingmiracles.com. Check out these phototherapy patches. Really cool stuff. I'm taking them right now. It's a lot of fun. And Donna and Tommy are good people. You want to talk to them. They'll walk you through it as she did with me. And we'll see how we go. What else we got here? We got Sidetracked, A Million Ways of Sunday. All right, what are we at? All right. Well, we're over an hour already. Holy shit. I'll be quick. I'm watching this. So what do I got? Succession. The show's starting to get wordy and boring to me. I don't know. It's totally chasing Jimmy's miracle. I love it. It's getting boring. I don't know. I found myself falling asleep during the last. You know why? They got rid of Brian Cox. How could you get rid of the main guy? The show's called Succession. The whole thing is about who's going to succeed. And then they kill the guy, and now they know who succeeded. The show's over. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little boring there. Without Brian Cox, the show's not that good. The show you got to watch is Lucky Hank with Bob Odenkirk. It's awesome. In other news, big news for Beer League. We had a screening last night for Beer League, the series, which is officially called. I like the way they came out. How we're gonna release it is real simple. We're gonna do it once we get the okay. We're gonna spend 2 weeks blitzing everybody. Watch. We're gonna release it during 1 week, one episode a day. They're only about 3 minutes long, something like that. Monday to Friday on YouTube and on Facebook and all this different crap. We got to get people to sign up, of course, for you got to subscribe on the YouTube and all that stuff, which would be cool. And people seem to like it. Listen, I don't know. I'm too close to it. I watch it one and I'm like, oh my God, this is good. I watch it again. I'm like, I don't know. But the good news is Artie started posting again. He posted a picture of his coffee at Starbucks, which is really cool. He hasn't posted anything in, I think, a year and a half, 2 years. I'm supposed to see him next week. I will try to see him before Tuesday. We'll be talking about that. That should be fun.
I'm running a 5K, bro.
See, they're still down to 5K. This is unbelievable. No
chance, Jimmy. No chance.
See this? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Because, well, first of all, though, okay, I'll make the bet is full of. Listen, I don't care about the rest of the show. We're back to this 5K. If I finish under 31 minutes, you know what that means. You both fat fucks have to run a 5K, and then we'll see what you guys finish. How about that?
All right. And in addition to,
Dave ain't running a 5K. You ain't running a 5K.
All right. Hey, I'll do it. I'll run you under the table, Jimmy.
Oh, please. By the way, you look pretty good out there doing the wrestling thing. I got a kick out of it. But dude, you know what you got to do? You're a complete asshole. You have to. I want you to rip. You got to have like.
By the way, you're not running a fucking 5K either. Excuse my language. Yeah, I'm not running no 5K either. So we're good. We're all good over here.
Dave Sturcho is a ring announcer for these wrestling things. But dude, you got to have a uniform underneath the suit, bro.
Here. Not even
dude, you got to rip off. You got to buy like a rip away suit, and you got to have a jerk. When you were doing the announcements, I'm like, Dave's got to rip the suit off. I'm like, and then never wrestle. I'm just saying, you got to do that. Oh,
hit somebody with a leg drop or something.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a
show from the top rope.
I got a show in Long Island on Sunday. It's not stand up. I'm doing a show called Every Family Has One. I'm reading, kind of reading and telling a story about my dad. I'm going to repeat. I won't do the story now because in case anybody wants to drive out to Long Island, I'm going to do the story. I'll tell the story on Tuesday. I think it's funny as hell about my father. I think the audience will laugh at this. And I can't believe there's so few people that my sister's not online. She'd be worried about me dropping dead. But that's it. The name of this show is Jimmy Can't Run the 5K, and that's it. Now I'm pissed off. I might go out and play pickleball right now and kick your ass, both of you.
Good. You know what happened the last time you did this thing pissed off? You played 2 games of pickleball all gung ho, and then
that's right, which means
the third game.
Well, you know what?
So that's what I anticipate here. You think you're gonna be like, I got to make good time here.
No,
and you don't realize how little that tank is when you start hitting that pavement.
It's
bro.
not that
it's different. It's not pickleball.
It's a 10-minute mile. That's not that fast, bro. It's not that fast.
The second one though, that second 10-minute.
So
mile,
you worried about that 10 minutes? Listen. I'm gonna have fans lining the street. This is gonna be the biggest 5K in the history.
That's the danger. What I see you going through here, and this is what I worry about your health as a friend. You're gonna be at 1 mile, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, I'm on pace, but I have to keep this pace." Then you're gonna hit like the halfway point. You're gonna be on the same pace, but a little bit worse than the last time you checked. And then on the 3rd mile, you're gonna be like, or the halfway point, you're gonna be like, I have to do better than what I just did, and I'm already dead tired. You're not David Goggins, bro. No offense. You are not running a 31-minute 5K.
What happens when I get my second win and I start doing the shuffle and calling out to the crowd? You just
somebody throw Jimmy a Bud Light.
I can't believe I have to. You know what? I can't. I have to discuss this with Pat Volkamer. He will be posting on Chop Sports even more. Look for those 4:30 a.m. posts. All right, that's the show, Chris. Appreciate it. I will. Lot going on here at Shea. The 5K. Wow, I'm back, bro. Louis, I know Louis. Deep down, someone's got to think I'm going to finish this thing. Louis just said you get the second win 3 days later. Weege. Listen, how can I mock out Weege? He's my Patreon. I can't. Anyway, I'll see you guys, Chris. Good show.
Yeah, bro. It's not happening though. But it was a pleasure as always.
Under 31. Take the under.
Bro, you notice next week it's going to be under 32 because this conversation started. It was 30. Now it's 31. Someone's got some doubts.
I'm coming for you, Ray. Hey, Judith Hill. You're saying hello. What do you think? What does Judith Hill think I'm going to finish on the?
So Judith, knowing what you know about Jimmy Palumbo here as he shakes his gullet, what do you think he's going to finish the 5K in if he so chose to run one? He's saying he could do it under 31 minutes. I'm saying that he might pass if he tries that. But
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Even Dave Levin, my Red Sox Boston dude from LA. I don't know. I got to figure. I think it's in what's the 7th. I think it's the 4th.
Picking out
no,
the
it's the 13th.
I'm picking out the outfit.
I'm gonna have one that says "fuck Dave and Chris" on the back of my shirt. That's good. I'll wear a Chop Sports shirt.
I wasn't thinking that regard.
I'm gonna wear a Jimmy Palumbo shirt.
I was gonna dress. You ever watch Reno 911? See Nick? It's Terry. You put some roller skates on. You would.
First of all, My
You might be
nipples
able to
bleed-
roller
My
skate.
nipples, well, my nipples are bleeding because I don't have the proper shirt for running.
You might be able to roller skate a 5K in 30 minutes.
Jimmy's nipples bleeding, sponsored by Absolute Eyewear. All right, listen. The show ran long because all of a sudden I'm a fat fuck now, but that's okay, Chris. You'll see. You shall see.
All right.
All right.
I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, I'll talk to
All
you in a
right,
little
buddy.
bit. We'll see you. Bye.
We don't know. We're gonna find out, but we'll keep you guys posted. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, the world will know. The world will know, bro. All right, I'll talk to you.
All
later.
right.